All right, welcome. So it is that time of year again. We are getting ready to go to the Carlisle All-Ford Nationals show. It's about 40 minutes from where I live here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And we're getting the blue NSRT4 ready for the show. So let's just take a real quick walk around. I don't really drive this car that much, and unfortunately, it sits outside and deals with the weather. That's rain, sleet, snow, and sun, which I believe is the biggest damage. Causes the most damage is the sun. So I actually have a couple things that I'm going to be trying to do here to the car, along with getting things cleaned up. I did receive one of the MPX oil filter housings. I'm getting this installed because of ease of, where's it at? Yep, ease of installing the oil pressure gauge in the correct location and getting a better oil reading other than the side of my head. All right, so that's one thing. All right, if you want to take a look, man, we got some dirt. That's just where the water runs when it runs down wet. So we're going to be taking care of that. Basically, I'm going to give this thing a full wash. We're going to clean up our wheels. You can tell, man, she is dirty. I did get one of these special fin for the HKS blow-off valve. I do have the Modern Performance. These are the new ones that Modern sells with the red bulb. And we're going to be installing that also. But, I mean, just a real quick walk around. We have our sticker that we installed the other year. We're going to clean up our taillights. We do have the MPX rear diffuser installed. So the car does look pretty good. Other than, you know what I mean, we got this paint cracking in the paint. Thank you, Dodge, for using cheap paint. So, like I said, I don't get too worried about it. It is what it is. This is what I do for wax on this car right there. So it's going to get a good clean. I'm going to clean everything down, and some of the stuff I'll shine up some, but this is pretty much what I use. It makes it look a little shinier. I can't do anything about these cracking in the paint other than doing a full paint job. This thing did have some paint work down this left side here at one time, which is why there's no cracking in any of this paint. You can tell the hood's definitely had its day. So those are a few things that we have to install. I did start by getting my catch can moved out of the way. Like I said, I'm going to be cleaning the engine bay down, and, well, we got to do some cleaning inside the car. And, well, hasn't been cleaned since last year. These are some CE seats. I was trying to find out about getting some of this stuff done by an upholstery person. I still have some of that stuff scheduled. And then maybe even looking into seeing what they could do, or, you know, see if they can do a steering wheel maybe, or, you know, do blue thread in the shifter boot. Just some of the extra stuff. I did want to move, which one is it? This one here, my stock pod went, so I just stuck my boost, and then this one is just filling a hole. But I have a fuel pressure one to put in here because this oil is for my other car. And this one's hooked up and that one's hooked up. But I'm going to be moving my AFR gauge over here next to my boost. So if I do any kind of email tuning, it's a whole lot nicer. You can see your AFR, your boost, and you can get your RPM in a video. That way it confirms it also. But I have the HP tuner set up, so I'm going to see if I can use that to send a signal and data log that stuff at the same time. Everything else, I mean, other than being a little dirty in here, it's pretty nice. All right. Let's get to this third brake light. All right, so factory third brake light. These are aftermarket LEDs. Let's take a look at what that third brake light looks like. All right, hopefully that showed up. I did have to hook the battery up to get that to work. To install this, it's usually a whole lot easier than this. Most of the time these aren't installed, but I have the small clips where you can pull out the center and pop them off. I'm going to pull off my inner trunk lining and then we'll get to the installation of the third brake light. Clips into this also, like this. And then I just use this little tool here. All right. So your brake light just kind of twists out of here, kind of, sort of. Yep, there we go. And then your bulb will just pull straight out. All you need is a 10 mil. Now, this is 100% normal. These are always cracked right here. Every time I see these. Years ago, I bought a pack of large washers due to the fact of how expensive and hard it was to find the center third brake light. And I just installed them on all of the lights, whether they were broken or not, when I had a car that I either fixed up or did something with and had to double check the third brake light. All right. So what happens as I drop my screwdriver is, if you look really close, you can see that this kind of actually comes around that on both sides and makes it a tight fit. If you get in here, sometimes you can manage to save it so that it doesn't get too damaged. All right, I'm gonna grab a bigger screwdriver and then I'm gonna get that out and try not to damage it. Ring that's around there, that's actually a seal. And it was making a good seal here. So I actually had to come on the top and push down on that. But before I go installing this, I'm gonna make sure I clean this dust mess right here, which is obviously dust that was in the air, and this is some pollen that ends up gathering in around stuff. And then we have this moist weather here, and you can see we got some on the top of the wing. We do have some that runs down through here, just like in the front and across the bottom. So I'm just going to use some window cleaner and a blue paper towel and get that cleaned up. Bulb swapped out, that just pulls out. It doesn't have to go in a certain way. And we've got everything cleaned around the inner edge here and up inside here, ready to install this. As you can tell, we have a nice clean seal. This stuff goes in easy, man, just like this. Okay, so I'm going to install my washers like I had before, just because I have them, and the nuts. I guess it helps if I... Well, that's a good thing. When this happens, when you try to put your light in upside down on camera, this will go this way. All right, they're made to pop in and push out so that they can be replaceable. All right, so here we go. Let's install our light the correct way. Now I'm going to put down the camera and I'll show you what it looks like all installed. Now that looks a whole lot nicer. All right, so like I said, hopefully it worked the first time around. I'm going to go apply the brake pedal so we can see what it looks like lit up. I'll get to see that once I finally check it out on the film when I'm editing out the video. But that right there kind of pretty much is how you install your third brake light. Modern does offer these. I'll put the link in the description. I'm not sponsored at all by Modern, but they are the ones that carry the most parts for the NSRT4 Neon, and they are, well, pretty quick when it comes to shipping. So I haven't had no complaints. I've been getting stuff back there. I think as far as back, man, I'd have to actually check my account. It's been quite a few years, I can tell you that.